Welcome back to my channel. It's Tamar. Today we will be doing a wig install using Bold Hold Active lace glue, and I'm really excited to try it. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so sit back and just enjoy the video. So the first thing that I do is remove the makeup that I have on my forehead where I want to place the glue, because I want to make sure that my forehead is clear from all oils and all dirts. Then I'm going to take my wig and I'm going to place it on my head with my elastic band, and I'm going to make sure that it's aligned perfectly with my ears, and just to make sure before I glue it down the placement is correct. So right here, I'm taking a brown makeup pencil to trace where the lace stops, so that way I can basically use that as a guide for when I place my glue down. And I am going to do this across the entire lace from ear to ear. Then I'm going to push the wig back and I'm going to take my Bold Hold. I use like the end of a straight razor, like an eyebrow razor, to just spread it across evenly and to make sure that it was not lumpy. And this is my first layer. I made sure to follow the instructions that was given to me on the bottle very carefully. It said to allow for each layer to dry clear before adding another layer on top. So right here you see me just dividing my forehead in half and just putting it down, just simply putting it down. I didn't like follow any specific method other than waiting for all of the layers to dry clear before putting another layer on top. In total, I used 3 layers, and right here I'm going in with my second layer on the first half of my head, which had already dried clear, and then I'll repeat the same thing on the other side once it dries. So now that all 3 layers of glue is down on my forehead, I'm going to take my wig and place it on top of the glue. And this is the part in which I think I messed up on, because I feel like I could have placed the wig a little bit further, like in front of the glue, and I probably wouldn't have ran into the problem of the glue kind of like seeping out, which I struggle with off camera. So I don't have that footage to share, but I do talk about it at the end of the video in detail. So now I'm taking my rat tail comb and I'm just pressing the lace into the glue just to make sure that it is, really good on there and that it's not going to lift. When I did the front of my forehead, I did not do my ear tabs. So right here, I'm just repeating the same steps that I did on the front of my forehead with my ear tabs to glue them down. So once I had both of my ear tabs glued down, I realized that I had like some excess lace that was lifting up. So I took the end of a rat tail comb with a little bit of bowl hold just to glue those parts down so that way it could be seamless. And right here, I'm just continuing to cut around the lace where it's some excess and just make sure that it looks really good or like to my liking. So now I'm taking my black opal face powder and I'm going to put that on the lace so that it blends better with my skin, or so I thought. And now I'm going to separate my baby hairs from the rest of my hair, just so that way when I do the meltdown, which is like when you tie it down with an elastic band and you put a blow dryer on it or you sit under the dryer, just so that way I can cut them and define them from the rest of my hair. I do the meltdown off camera and then I come back with the finished product. Did y'all like it? I don't know if y'all could like really see me struggling in there, but I was struggling bad. So I used a bowl hole active glue, and I buy hair diagram. I think it's a hair diagram. Yeah, hair diagram. I struggled immensely trying to put this on. Like, it was a really, really, really hard task for me to do. I don't know if it's because like it's my first time or I don't know, but I just feel like it was hard. One thing that I feel like I struggled with the most was making sure that the glue did not surpass where the frontal actually stopped, because if it does do that, it creates like a white cast around the line of the frontal, and you never want that to happen because like you can actually see where your lace is. So I literally did that and I had to remove the glue where I had already laid down and went through the little meltdown process. I had to remove a little bit of the glue, but when I really started struggling, I turned the camera off, because when I struggle I get irritated. So I had to turn the camera off, like I need to get this together, see what's going on, Yeah, so this is the finished look. Now about the hair, when I was making the wig, the hair was shedding a lot. So even after I had already plucked it and was already done and it was already moved on, it was shedding a lot. So I'm not sure if that's like one of the things about the hair, like it just sheds a lot, or like I don't know, I'm not sure. So hopefully it doesn't continue to shed, and you know, it'll just be fine and I won't really have to deal with any shedding like that. Cool, I like it. It definitely seems like it's gonna last me a long time, for sure, for sure. Like it seems like this thing gonna be on for a minute. I appreciate the support. All of my social media handles will be down in the description. I only have Instagram and Twitter, nothing serious. And I'll also add my business page down there as well if you want to get a wig made or get your hair done, or in the future get your nails done, because I just started doing nails. Bye.